Hi, I'm Daniel Hirschberg, and today I'm going to give you a brief demo of two sister services that represent two sides of threat monitoring in OCI. Let's start with the Oracle Threat Intelligence Service. It aggregates and curates threat intelligence data gathered from many different sources and serves as a central hub for other Oracle services and customers. This is the dashboard, with links to the simple steps required to enable out-of-the-box integrations, additional information about the service, and a link to peruse its database. Here we can search indicators like IP addresses of known threat actors and hashes of malicious files. Let's do a quick search for IP addresses. You can use the filters to narrow the search and use APIs to automate things, but let's go with the defaults. We got a bunch of results, so let's just pick one. As you can see, this one was reported by CrowdStrike for multiple threat types, but the overall confidence score is middle of the road. Something important to keep in mind is that this does not mean that this IP address has been seen attacking this environment, only that the intelligence community knows about it. That's where integrations come into play. Like CloudGuard, that can create alerts when an IP address with a score above 80 is interacting with your environment, and Threat Detector that can use it as additional context for its detections. Let's go take a look. CloudGuard has been helping customers improve their security posture since 2020, and here you can get a quick assessment of this environment. Targets define the scope of what's being protected. Think a collection of compartments. Detectors are recipes full of checks for possible issues with resources or user actions. Problems are the alerts generated when a detector is triggered. And responders offer automated actions to remediate issues and trigger downstream integrations. CloudGuard has over 100 atomic detectors that can raise alerts for misconfigured resources and critical events. Threat Detector expands on this, looking for complex behaviors over long periods of time that can indicate an environment has been compromised. Like a user whose credentials have been stolen or is getting ready to leave. Let's jump straight into the Threat Monitoring tab, where you would slice and dice to find the up-and-coming attackers. Today, we don't have that many, so let's just take a look at Anakin. He's definitely been busy. Early on, we noticed some brute force attempts that turned into a faster-than-light trip a week later, a typical indication that credentials are being shared. And finally, we detected significant number of pre-authenticated requests, which can indicate an exfiltration attempt. Each sighting comes with its own details, and the storyline is scored as a whole. The risk score has been rising all the way to 90 as sightings have been coming in. Now let's take a look at the parse sighting. It has low severity when considered on its own, even as we're pretty sure it's a true event. But it definitely adds to the storyline. From here, we can take a look at the buckets that were used and the IP addresses involved. One of the IP addresses is known by the Threat Intelligence Service. Let's take a look. There's quite a bit of additional context that Threat Detector could use to adjust its findings and for analysts to further investigate. But let's go back to the user profile. Given that Anakin's risk score went above 80, we created a rogue user problem, tying into CloudGuard workflows like disabling the user or triggering further integrations. And, of course, the relevant sightings come with it, so we can still drill down into them. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the demo. Thank you.